Hello everyone, welcome back to My2LeftHands Channel. Today, as you can see, we're going to be making a delicious honey garlic salmon. Stay tuned. Alright, so first we're going to start off with 2 freshly washed salmon. You want to make sure that with these salmon you can take off the debris and also take off the skin. That's optional, you can keep on the skin, but just be careful of shredding. So go ahead and pat your salmon dry with a paper towel. Flip each side, and I'm just showing you there the shredded skin, the shredded salmon from tearing off the skin. So make sure you pat each side dry before seasoning. Alright, so before we start seasoning, you want to make sure that you cut up your salmon. I actually forgot to cut the salmon up before I started seasoning. So we're going to start off with some basic seasoning: garlic powder, onion powder, salt, pepper. Whatever you want your salmon to taste like, that's what you're going to put on your salmon. But you want to make sure that you have these few key ingredients like your onion and garlic powder, just to take out that raw taste out of the salmon. And this is also completely optional. You can put some red pepper flakes for a little kick, and then I have some parsley here on the side for presentation. So this is the key ingredient in the salmon, the smokehouse maple. This brings out like that hickory taste, that smoke flavor in the salmon, and it also incorporates with the honey that we're going to be adding in later on. Rub it in, let that marinate for about 30 minutes. In a medium skillet, we're going to add in some butter. You just want to add enough to cover the whole pan. Now dip in a little bit of oil and make sure that the butter and the oil covers the whole pot. So now we're going to add in our strips of salmon. As you can see, I did cut this up on the side or off camera. And right now I am fighting to pick that one up right there. Alright, place your salmon in the skillet, and for about 2 to 3 minutes you want to get them brown on each side. Once your salmon is brown on each side, just remove them from the pot, put it to the side, and we're going to be adding them back in later. So I actually did change utensils here. I started to use a spatula because the tongs were starting to break up the salmon. And I just want to remind you guys just to be careful with salmon. It is a really tender meat. Alright, so in the same skillet we're going to add some minced garlic. You can use minced garlic in the jar, but to get the real authentic flavor, you want to use actual garlic. The one in the jar doesn't taste the same. Make sure make sure you mix in all the flavors, cook it all up. And I'm just want to apologize, my pot is leaning on the Lord today. So go ahead and add in 3/4 of a cup of water. This is where we're actually going to start making our sauce now, for the basis of the sauce. And my pot is still leaning on the Lord. Alright, give that a little stir. You want to stir continuously because you don't want any of the garlic or anything at the bottom to start sticking. You have to keep stirring consecutively. Now you want to add in a spoonful of cooking wine. You can get any cooking wine, but I'm just using the Holland House. I'm just using a spoonful. And the reason why I'm using a spoonful is because the cooking wine that I use is like really salty. Like it does have that wine flavor, but it has like too much salt in there. So you don't want to overpower it. Alright, we're going to add in our honey. I'm really not going to tell you how much to use. The recipe calls for 4 tablespoons, but I obviously use more than 4 tablespoons. And you want to stir that in. I have a sweet tooth, so that's why I added more than 4 tablespoons. Stir that all in. Make sure the honey doesn't stick to the bottom. Next, you want to add in some flour. And what I actually did, I actually put some flour and some water and mixed it all up, made like a little mixture, and added it in. You don't want to add dry flour into your mixture. You will get clumps. And now I'm squeezing in a half of lemon. Stir it all in. And let this cook for about 2 to 3 minutes. Alright, so now what we're going to do now, we're going to add in our salmon. And make sure before you even add it in the salmon that you try the sauce. You want to make sure that this tastes good. And right there, I just showed you the plate right there. I did it on purpose. I want to show you that I did make a couple of mistakes, and this is the result of tearing off the skin off the salmon. And just remember, this is My2LeftHands channel, so like I said, mistakes are going to be seen. They're going to be welcome. Alright, add in your salmon. My pot is leaning and rocking with it. Alright, so yep, those are the pieces that broke, as you can see. Alright, so once our salmon is all added into the pot, what you're going to do, you're going to take a spoon, a large spoon at that. I did not use a large spoon at first, but what you're going to do, just like I'm doing here, you want to just grab a spoonful of the sauce that we made and cover the salmon. So I'm going to get a big spoon now. So what you're going to basically, like I said, get a spoonful of the sauce and basically cover each salmon. You want to make sure that the sauce is literally covering each side of the salmon everywhere. You want your salmon to basically marinate in this sauce. Is drenched in this sauce. Alright, so you're going to cook that for about 10 to 15 minutes. Alright, after 10 to 15 minutes, this is what our salmon looks like. And you can also cook this a little bit more if you want the sauce to be a little bit darker, but you also have to be careful to avoid sticking and burning. And I'm just going to continue to put the sauce over the salmon just for each one to get that glazed look. That one in the middle right there, ooh, that one is like really good. It looks amazing right now. I just wish you could smell all the flavors that are combined together. Ooh. Alright. So, and I want you guys to just get a close-up look at this salmon. I'm telling you, it's really delicious. Like, ooh, you see the flavor is really good. I had to get a close-up one. And I'm actually really proud of myself. Alright, so this is the finished product and we're gonna try it. I can't wait because it smells like really good right here. So I'm going in for the mac and cheese first. Still steamy hot. I'm gonna eat some more because this is really good. It's real hot. And our salmon. That hickory smoke taste is in the salmon. So try out this recipe. Tell me how you guys do. Comment, share. I'm sorry. Comment, share, subscribe. Do what you gotta do. Tell me about this recipe. What you try different. Tell me how you like it. See you next video.